What up, world? This your dude Smash, aka Captain Smash, however it is you may follow. Today we'll be working on the Philly fade, aka the drop fade. It's so many different names to it, but it's the mid blend for a wave length haircut. Today's victim of this awesome smashing is all the way from New Orleans. What we're about to do is get ready to start our fade transition. I have to start off by balding the sides, but not a true bald. I bald it with my fast feeds, and I'll show you why in the end. You want a nice even line. Going around the surface of the head. As you can see, I have my teeth wide open. You want to give yourself a good guideline so that you can make sure that it'll be faded evenly all the way around. That gives you less to fight with. And you just go back around and do a full checkup to make sure that you don't have any other hairs lying around on the scalp. Alright, now what I'm about to do is, I'm about to add the zero guard, the purple magnetic guard from Andis. Make sure I have no drops, it won't just pop off or spring off. It's pretty good for a person who's just getting into it and doesn't have that trust in their hands yet. So we're gonna walk it down. Everybody's gonna be a barber and genius. We'll make it happen for you. What I'm doing now is cutting with the grain of the hair. You want to follow the exact pattern of the hair to receive the best outcome for your client's hair. And you don't have to press on the client's head. You can give it a nice gentle stroke. You want to make sure that you're always using your wrist. You never use your elbow. You use your elbow, you burn yourself out sooner. So everything is with the wrist. You find a motion that you're comfortable with and you run with it. As you find your own way, you find your own style. You do whatever fits you. As you're cutting, you have to make sure that you have a vision. You want to make sure that you can see the cut before you even started on it. Before you even turn your clippers on, you want to know where you're going. Pretty much mapping out your situation. As I look at my clients, or my future clients, I focus on their head. I make sure that as I consult with them, I'm building the blueprint for how I want to cut their hair before I even get anything established with cutting their hair. It's no rush, you take your time. I'm pretty sure the client doesn't want you to rush through their hair anyway. I'm gonna show you beginner's techniques And I'm gonna also show you experienced master techniques as well. Once the desired length of the hair has been cut and achieved the width to the height that you want, you take that same clipper with the same guard and you go back against the grain to beat this line out of here. I'm about to show you how to smash. Notice it's all in the wrist. Follow the grain of the hair in the direction it's growing. This will take the bulk out of the line. You want to stay in the same position. Keep your wrist and your elbow aligned so you don't wear yourself out. Notice as I'm fading, I don't have the clippers lying flat against the grain of the hair or laying flat on the scalp. I use a tilted angle, that way I can feather. And it's not about how much pressure you apply, because I can hold my clippers loosely and still achieve the same goal. It's all about balancing and knowing the proportions, the levels of how you want the fade to come out. The reason why I don't bald it all the way, I'll show you in a few. These are the little things that makes your client guaranteed to come back to you, because most won't take the time to perfect this. And there's many people that say that they can cut hair, but not many can say they can finish it. Now what I do, I go back to my fast feed, no guard. I open it all the way to finish up my cleaning process, my blending process, to smoothen everything out. What I do is do a walk down. Turn my clippers this way. Gradually walk down. And you can go whatever pace you want. You can speed it up if I'm going too slow for you, or you can slow it down, whichever you feel comfortable with. This is what'll give you a cut, that finished look. It's always been my desired look. Now, I take the same clipper, open it all the way up, because you can always walk your way down, but you can never put the hair back. So you want to open it as much as possible, so that when you start fading, it gives you have that eye. You can see where you're going. Now that I've smoothed everything out, I won't be able to take chunks out of the hair if I do make a mistake while I'm cutting. So I go back with my clippers tilted, not laying flat, with my clippers tilted, so I can feather this fade. Again, I'm not holding my clippers hard. I'm not pressing on them hard. Now you see the line that was here is no more. We work our way around. For my best outcome, I stretch the skin as I'm fading. That way the scalp doesn't constantly move. And I fade with the grain of the hair. As you can see, if I go close up, it's kind of going at this wavy cycle towards this direction. So what I'll do is I'll single strand fade. Which will make the look that I'm going for with this fade achievable. Now I'll go to one of my favorites, personal favorites. It's the Wall Hero. This is going to give you that desired look for the detailed Philly fade, mid fade, drop fade, however you call it. You pick your spots or where you want to blend out of. It's all about the blend. I'll start around the shape of the ear. Going through the balding cycle. Same thing. You make a line that's well balanced all the way around the head. It's kind of like its own equator. This line that you're creating is going to be the same line that you fade out. It's truly levels to this. I love these little clippers, kind of like an angry bumblebee. go to my Fade Masters. Easy in design, comfortable to hold. Again, you want to open your blade all the way. Well, I would say midways, so you can start your fade transition from the balding to the low, like Caesar style area. You want to keep your finger near the trigger so you can constantly move or tilt the blade or shift the blade as much as you need. Again, you see I'm using my wrist, and more so as I'm fading, whichever direction I'm going, I usually choose to use maybe the last 5 or 6 teeth on either end. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see how I toggle my trigger? I'm always in reach. Again, I'm still stretching the skin. I think my cameraman is going to become a barber when he finishes. I make it easy enough to where everyone can do it. You see how this line is disappearing? So people see my cuts, my haircuts, my hairstyles, walking around the city. They know who cut it. Smash did that. Now as I'm switching sides, you see I'm tilting my clippers. At first when I was going in this direction, going around the head, I use that side. It's like a feather. It's like an instrument you playing. You have to make sure you're comfortable. You find your own style. You find your own rhythm. You find your own groove. That's what makes your lane. Now as I go back over this ear, and my sides have transitioned, you notice my wrist is constantly moving. Again, it doesn't just have to go this way with the clippers when you're fading. You don't have to tilt it this way. This is just the way that I execute this cut. Again, your biggest thing is following the path in which the hair is growing. Sometimes you can find it tricky, so instead of you giving it the up-down motion, you can go in a circular motion. I call it the cut and carry. Again, it's all on my wrist. You see I'm going in a circular motion. Now I go back and spot mop. Make sure I have no loose ends. Nothing is sticking out. Now, what we're going to be doing is trimming edges. You have to make sure that the edges are a certain way before you try to apply a line, because you can't have too much pressure. And what I mean by pressure is you don't want the hair to exceed the client's forehead as you get ready to line. Most guys cut the clients and they don't trim the edges or the edges. It's almost like cutting grass. But most guys don't trim the edges before they apply the line. And it may look good while you're in the shop, but when you get home and you brush your hair and then that hair exceeds the forehead, it looks like it's time for another haircut. So what we're gonna do is play with our shear game. And while you're at it, you go and you do a cleanse. Certain things your clippers may not catch. You want the clients hair to be as smooth as possible as you're fading. As you're cutting it. Making sure that I achieve the look I'm going for. I don't want any strayaways or anything cut wrong around the swirl at the top of the head. So I shear it down. Let's play a game of cleanup. Now we'll go to the most important part, the lining phase. Most people never really find a spot for how to position the lining. Usually I try to stay in between the range of the eyebrow. You want to try to trace the natural arch of the eyebrow, meaning when I line up, I should normally be in between the eyebrow and my hairline. And it should be like that on both sides. Okay, his is at the end of the eyebrow. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna draw the sides first. The sides are gonna give you your front line. It's gonna make it way easier than you ever thought. As I line, I comb in the direction that the hair is growing towards the front. I stretch the skin. Again, that's part of spot mopping. You just go back and clean up. Now, we go for the front line. As you can see, from where we've lined it at, you just go across, because it builds that bridge for you. So now you just go and clean up. The Philly fade, the dry fade, the mid fade, again, however you want to call it, has been accomplished. The desired look has been accomplished. If the client wants extras, you can give them extras. I'll be adding a part at the top of his haircut. You choose your side, whichever side that you want to go to. There's no certain side. I usually go at an angle when I give them a part. You find a smooth entry into the hair. Everything needs to fall right into place. As you may notice, I'm only using one end of my liners. The biggest thing about applying a part, you don't have to be the best artist. You just want to show clarity. And there you have it.